Hello, I'm Miss Carol from the Grand Rapids Area District Library. Today we're doing books about science, technology, engineering, art, and math. This one involves both science, technology, and a bit of engineering. It's Oh No, or How My Science Project Destroyed the World by Mac Barnett. Please stand by, it says. Oh no, oh man, I knew it. I never should have built a robot for the science fair. Everything was going so well until the rampage started, that is. I probably shouldn't have given it a super claw, or a laser eye, or the power to control dogs' minds. Looks like I'm going to have to fix this. Hey, knock it off already. I probably should have given it ears. Now a sign says, "Cut it out, Buster." I should have taught it how to read, too. Take that! I should have programmed it to feel pain. I have an idea. Looks like she's rushing home. Now what's she building? Toad, take your position. She's sending a giant toad to go fight her robot. Toad, turn around! Toad, attack! Well, looks like the toad is winning, and the poor robot is sinking. Goodbye, robot. But at least he's not destroying the town anymore. Well, that worked out nicely. Oh man. Now the toad. I knew it. The giant toad wasn't a good idea either. Looks like he is going on a rampage now. Now, I guess she's got to figure out how to fight the giant toad. Now it's Oh No, or How My Science Project Destroyed the World. Today's book is on art. It's called The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. Aha! A polar bear in a snowstorm, she said. Very funny, said Vashti. I just can't draw. Her teacher smiled. Just make a mark and see where it takes you. Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good strong jab. There! Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Vashti thought a moment. Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign it. The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. I can make a better dot than that. She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted a yellow dot, a green dot, a red dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with red, she discovered that she could make a purple dot. Vashti kept experimenting, lots of little dots in many colors. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on a bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's mini dots made quite a splash. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really good artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle. And then she said, "Please sign it." And that is the dot.
Hi boys and girls, it's me, Miss Danielle, and I am here today to teach you a really fun song. It's called The Lights on the Robot, and we're going to need to use different parts of our body for the motions. Like for instance, the lights are going to be with our hands, and our arms, for the robot arms, are going to be doing different things, and our legs, and our feet are going to go clickety clack. Okay, get ready. The lights on the robot go on and off. On and off, on and off. The lights on the robot go on and off, all around the rocket ship. The arms on the robot go up and down, up and down, up and down. The arms on the robot go up and down, all around the rocket ship. The dials on the robot go left and right, left and right, left and right. The dials on the robot go left and right, all around the rocket ship. Get ready with your legs. The legs on the robot go up and down, up and down, up and down. The legs on the robot go up and down, all around the rocket ship. The feet on the robot go clickety clack, clickety clack, clickety clack. The feet on the robot go clickety clack, all around the rocket ship. The power on the robot goes drooping down, drooping down, drooping down. The power on the robot goes drooping down, all around the rocket ship.
This book is about math. It's called Bug by Robin Koontz. Bug was not called Bug because she was little like a bug, although she was. She was not called Bug because she was fast like a bug, although she did. Bug was called Bug because she loved every winged, singing, crawling, biting, stinking, slinking, stinging bug there was. Bug liked to draw bugs more than anything in the world, especially math. When Mrs. Mooski talked to the class about math, Bug doodled bugs in her sketchbook and stared out the window. She couldn't wait to race outside to the open field and look for new bugs to draw. Mrs. Mooski shook her head, whooshing her cloud of curly hair. Bug, you must spend less time doodling and more time on math, please. One day, Mrs. Mooski made an announcement to the class. If everyone does well on the big math test, we'll plan on a trip to the Science Museum. Mrs. Mooski smiled, but Bug frowned. Bug's friend Jasper was the only kid in class who would walk home with her. He didn't mind when she shoved some new interesting kind of bug in his face. You have to pass this test, said Jasper. You always wanted to go to the Science Museum with that awesome bug room. Bug sighed. I'll do my best. Walk the rest of the way without me, please. I have to spend time on the test. Bug wandered to the wild field by the school. She tried to think about math, but she had heard honeybees buzz and katydids chirp. Gnats tickled Bug's nose, and dragonflies fanned her face. A butterfly landed on a nearby flower. Bug doodled it in her sketchbook. She drew spots on the butterfly's wing. Then Bug shook her head. I must spend less time doodling and more time on math. She spotted shiny black ants marching down a tiny path, each carrying a seed. Bug couldn't help herself. She doodled the ants and the seeds. Suddenly a beetle crashed through the parade of ants. Some of the ants dropped their seeds and chased the beetle away. Bug drew the whole scene. Bug shook her head again. I must spend less time doodling and more time on math. But Bug spotted a cluster of crickets on a rotting log. They were huddled in two small groups. She turned a page in her sketchbook and doodled the crickets. Then Bug shook her head again. I must spend less time on doodling and more time on math. She read over her math homework, but it still didn't make any sense to her. She sighed, then she looked at her doodles. The butterfly had 3 spots on one wing. Bug counted 6 spots total. Bug looked at the ant. There were 20 ants carrying seeds in her drawing. Then 6 ants had dropped their seeds to chase the beetle. Now there are 14 ants carrying seeds, thought Bug. Bug counted the groups of crickets clustered on the log. She sketched on her last sketch, 4 plus 3 equals 7, thought Bug. She doodled a group of 5 more crickets. Now there are 12 crickets, cried Bug. Math is easy. I can pass the big test. Bug squealed, that's math. I'm doing math. Bug remembered reading somewhere that crickets brought good luck. She scooped up a handful and released them into her lunchbox. As she hurried home, she whispered to them, "I'll bring you back here right after the big math test." The next day, Mrs. Mooski passed out the math test. Please raise your hand when you've finished. Good luck! The first problem was 7 plus 8 equals blank. Bug doodled a butterfly. She drew 7 spots on the first wing and 8 spots on the other wing. 15! The next problem was 11 minus 8. Bug doodled 11 ants carrying seeds. Then she crossed out 8. She counted the seeds that were left. The answer was 3. Bugs made math easy. Bug flew her test. She doodled bugs for every question. At last, Bug got to the bonus question. She had never even tried to answer the bonus question before. This was her big chance. 6 minus 4 plus 7 minus 6 equals blank. Show your thoughts. All those numbers, so many numbers. Bug needed help. Bug opened her lunchbox. She peeked inside at the lucky crickets. Then Bug started drawing again. She doodled 6 crickets and crossed out 4. She doodled 7 more crickets. Next, the remaining ones. Then she crossed out 6. Bug counted the bugs that were left. Then she did the math. 6 minus 4 plus 7 minus 6 equals 3. She wrote her answer and raised her hand. Mrs. Mooski walked to Bug's desk and picked up her lunch paper. Then her lunchbox chirped. Bug looked down just as all the crickets leapt straight up out of the lunchbox and into Mrs. Mooski's cloud of hair. Mrs. Mooski screamed and waved her arms. "Get them off! Get them off!" "They think your hair is a field," said Bug calmly. "They are aggregating on you." "That's a wonderful vocabulary word, Bug," yelled Mrs. Mooski, "but I am not a field." "We have to take them outside," said Bug. Mrs. Mooski and Bug raced to the empty field. The class followed. Bug gently gathered the crickets from Mrs. Mooski's hair and placed each one back on the log. Mrs. Mooski shook her hair and combed it out thoroughly with her hands. She took a very deep breath. "Why were there crickets in your lunchbox, Bug?" "I was doing math by counting bugs," she explained. "And I showed my thinking like you wanted." Mrs. Mooski took another very deep breath and looked up closely at Bug's test paper. She checked all the answers. "This is very good work, Bug," she said. "Congratulations, you pass." The whole class cheered at Mrs. Mooski. She pulled out her special gold pencil from her pocket, wrote a big A+ on top of the paper, along with a note. The little note says, "No more bugs in my classroom, please." The next week, Bug and her entire class got to go to the Science Museum. Bug wants to go to this new Bug-O-Rama exhibit. She did lots of doodling and some math too. Even Mrs. Mooski spent some time in the bug room. She wore a hat. Looks like Bug's classmates are enjoying all the bugs too. And then she drew a happy picture at the end. And that is the end of Bug.